Ashneer Grover, India's own controversial poster boy, reality show star and startup founder Ashneer Grover has been in news both online and offline. Ashneer Grover, remember, the former founder and managing director of Indian fintech company BharatPe, which he co-founded in 2018 and left, as a matter of fact, in 2022 amid slew of allegations, resigned in the February of 2022. Since then, it's not been easy for Ashneer. Among other things, the Economic Offences Wing of Delhi Police registered a case against Grover and his wife Madhuri Jain Grover for a fraud to the tune of 81 crore rupees just a couple of days ago. The complaint filed by BharatPe alleges that Grover and his family misused companies' fund through forged documents. Now, those are official allegations, but there's a lot of news items, history around conduct of Ashneer Grover. You know, keeping aside the fact that he's written a book called Doglapan, which is again very controversial, as far as his personal conduct is concerned, that makes him the news item of 2023, Krishna, and he continues to be somebody we talk about every other day. The latest allegations are of fraud to the tune of 80 crore rupees.
Right, from fraud to so many other things, to corporate governance. You know, I can't. Let's face it, the company is perfectly fine. BharatPe, you know, as a platform, there are so many advantages, so many good things about BharatPe. But again, when you boil it back down to Ashneer Grover and personal conduct of what we're discussing, you know, tell us how much of what he says is true and how far is he off the mark?
Absolutely, and especially about BharatPe. He's said a lot about BharatPe, for which he's been penalized as well. Now, court has given him an ultimatum: you pay 2 lakh rupees, you're not supposed to talk about it further from here on. Well, it hasn't stopped him. But, you know, as far as his revelations around BharatPe is concerned, how much, to your knowledge, is it true?
Okay, I mean, I think two ways to look at it. One, if you're in corporate India, the kind of what you're, let's say, prone to hear whispers, rumors, gossip, salacious ones, and some pictures, dirty pictures that you will see, you're always part of that, you receive it. Here is the first time that it's coming all over social media. The people who are in the midst of all these allegations have been using social media to put it out. His erstwhile colleague, who also replaced him as the CEO, who's also left, have all been doing this.
Absolutely.
And I think the more important one to bring back here, the personal conduct, especially in financial services space, is something very, very important. You might be rich, you might be broke, you may not have the money to run the company, it doesn't matter. But what is your personal conduct? This is something that falls under RBI's fit and proper. And which is why they had to actually bring in somebody with great stature from outside. The question back is, what were his investors doing all those while? They wanted him because they liked his aggression to build that business for many, many years. And when it reached a stage where he became quickly indispensable or dispensable, they acted. So are you telling me the investors were not sure or did not know any of his shenanigans or his behavior or personality type? And this is playing out multiple times in the Indian startup community.
But this is more than his personality, you know, come to think of it. The allegations of taking corporate money, companies' money, channeling that for his personal use, corporate fraud. These are some very serious allegations. So and when these allegations were in fact investigated and he was called to the board meeting, he resigned as soon as he got the minutes of the meeting or the agenda of the meeting, that corporate board meeting in February of 2022. So essentially, he wanted to stay away from any sort of, you know, confrontation and questions.
Yeah. So again, it was also the time of easy money, right? The investors wanted to deploy. So almost every 3 months, the valuation of the entities would move. It was almost like musical chair that kept on happening. So where was their diligence? What was their audit, internal audit? These guys, I mean, typically investors, when they invest, they actually sit with you. They have board seats, they have board observer seats, weekly MIS. The CFO almost has a shadow CFO looking through their papers and everything. But easy money, right? The VC flow was coming in, and when the moment it tap shut in the US and the Fed started increasing rates, the easy money kind of stopped, and then you started asking questions. So it's a message, I think, for both. It's a learning for all of us, not just about the individual leaders. How much of space do you give them? You also ask them those questions. But at what point do you cut off?
Absolutely. When do you cut off? The cutoff date was set for February, which is when he
The way you're
resigned.
talking about the board and Ashneer Grover is reminding me of BCCI and Lalit Modi, for God's sakes. I mean, as long as the going was good, Lalit Modi should be there. The moment there's an issue, then Lalit Modi is the one to go first.
All right. And those, of course, are the newsmakers of 2023. BharatPe's Ashneer Grover, Narayan Murthy, Gautam Singhania. They made the news. They still continue to be in the news.